news,
Lobbyists are fed up with politicians accepting their money and then not coming through.
opinion,
When the automated police force orders you inside, that's just them doing their job.
remix.
Even lost my job partially due to the whole global warming issue. Increase in oil prices. This guy's scared.
This is Top Story with KLIXcast and Jill Skeen,
I've been a listener for about 20 years.
I'm talking to you makes me feel better.
where the news meets your opinion. Pick up the phone and talk about it. 736-0300. That's 736-0300. Now, here's the hosts of Top Story, KLIXcast and Jill Skeen.
And welcome to Top Story. 736-0300 is always the number to call. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning, Kelly. Happy Friday.
That's right, the third day of the Twin Falls County Fair.
That's right.
And earlier this week, we talked to John Pitts, the fair manager, and how things were going along. And now that it's going, when we talked to him Tuesday, we said, hey, John, can we call you this week, maybe
Bug you on
Friday
Friday,
morning,
yeah.
bug you, because you got nothing else to do.
No.
You know? Shoot.
He's
So
just
can
sitting
we just
back eating chocolate-covered donuts
That's
with
right.
the, Twin Falls sheriffs.
That's right, and the coconut salads and stuff.
Yeah.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, John.
Morning.
How are you?
Great.
So how's the fair going?
Oh, pretty good. They got have had good weather so far and really good turnout monster truck show and pretty decent attendance last night. It's first night of rodeo. Great rodeo last night.
Oh, good. Yeah, we heard the Monster Truck Show really killed. Like it was double from last year.
Yeah, it was up quite a bit, and they put on a great show too.
Oh, good.
The most important thing, though, have you had a chance to try out any more of the food?
That's what Kelly wants to know.
Yeah, I've kind of stayed the first couple of days. You kind of always stay with the old staples like the pork sickles and the jalapeno limeade. And I did try something new yesterday though. I had monkey bread for breakfast and chased it down with jalapeno limeade. That was pretty good.
That was what'd you say that was? Monkey bread?
Yeah.
And chased it down with jalapeno limeade?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was really good. They complement each other well.
So monkey bread, what's that all about?
It's almost like it's almost like a caramel roll, only it's in little chunks.
Is it kind of like cinnamon or something, like cinnamon bread?
No, it's caramel. They drizzle.
Wow.
They do the little bread chunks, and then they drizzle when they cook them and drizzle caramel over it, and then sprinkle walnuts on top.
Oh my! Are you going to be able to recover after this? This 5-6 days at the fair? Are you going to be able to have withdrawals? What's going to happen to your poor little body there?
Yeah, I always do kind of have withdrawals after fair. It's one of those where you got 6 days, you're running and gunning, and you show up Tuesday morning and there's garbage everywhere and there's nobody here.
And you've gained 10 pounds.
No, actually, I'm down.
It.
I had to punch another hole in my belt the other night.
Oh my
For
goodness!
crying out loud! Well, it's probably because all that work you have to do over there. But you got things in pretty good order, I know. And so nothing major on the downside, I guess. Huh? It just kind of turns into a science after so long, doesn't it?
Yeah, and when you got good help, why, that always helps too. You don't have quite as much of the little stuff to worry about.
Yeah.
How is attendance? Like overall for the
we've
general
been staying
stuff?
about steady with last year. I think yesterday we were down a couple hundred from last year's Thursday, but with a couple of schools being in session, that's gonna.
I know. I wondered if that hurt you.
Well, like I say, we're down a couple hundred.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they're with them being out of school today, and then through the weekend, I'm sure that'll balance itself back out.
Yeah. So is there another rodeo tonight?
Yes.
So
right.
we got the rodeo tonight and tomorrow night also, or when is the last night of that?
Yep, Saturday night's the last night of the rodeo.
And how much is the rodeo, John?
Tonight and tomorrow night are cheaper than Saturday night. It's kind of law of supply and demand. We come close to selling out on Saturday night. But general admission for the rodeo tonight, if they stop by the fair office, I believe it's $12 or $13. I don't have a brochure right in front of me right now. I'm actually out on the grounds.
Oh,
Okay.
And tomorrow, and then Saturday night is $16 for reserve.
And you have a concert Sunday night, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is that hasn't sold out yet, has it?
Oh no, we still got some seats left for it, and the arena floor is general admission, and it's standing room only. We can put a lot of people in there.
And who's the headliner?
It's Dustin Lynch.
Okay.
All right.
Cowboys and Angels, and She Cranks My Tractor song. And
She Cranks My Tractor song. That sounds like pretty country.
So now,
yeah, it's pretty country.
Is there anything the last night, Monday night?
No, we close the fair at 9 on Monday, and with everybody needing to get back to school and all the 4-H kids trying to get gathered up and going home, we tried for quite a few years trying to figure out what to put on Monday night that would bring anybody in the stands, and everybody's tired wanting to go home, so we just decided to close the fair down a little early that day and leave the grandstand dark.
All right.
Okay,
well, that sounds good to me. Well, John, I know you're a busy man, so we'll let you go, and we appreciate the update.
All righty, thank you.
All right, have a good
great
weekend.
rest of the fair.
Right, as long as you keep the weather coming good, we'll be fine.
I think
right.
it's going to be cooler.
Yeah,
It'll be nice.
Yeah.
High 70s today, I think.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
I mean, thank you.
You bet,
Okay,
Don.
John, take
we'll
care.
talk to you soon. That's John Pitts, Twin Falls County Fair Manager. So
You sound a little tired. You might have needed some jalapeno coffee or something.
Right.
Jalapeno limeade. Oh, my goodness.
I want to mention, too, that I got a call from Jack Jardine, who's on the Twin Falls County Fair Foundation, and he said that for those who are handicapped and need a little extra help, that the foundation has some little shuttle carts at the entrances there. So if you need help getting into the fair, like maybe to go eat or whatever, and then afterwards you can give them a call and they'll come and pick you up and shuttle you to where you need to go.
Nice.
That they will do that.
Well, good.
So-
And are we going to play our little Come On? It's not Friday without
our little Come On. It's not Friday.
until we have our little music
So
here,
this
right?
then, is that what you're talking about? All right, there you go.
Especially
There
for
you
a
go.
long weekend, the last long weekend of summer.
Yeah, I know.
Bummer.
I know.
You have 3 in summer, and that's it.
I know. We didn't want to play that before, John, because we knew he was busy and we needed to talk to him and let him get about his
But now, come on.
business. But
we're
now,
in Friday mode, open mind Friday.
Absolutely. 736-0300 is always
And
the number to call.
Speaking of the fair, you were at the Weed Bureau yesterday.
Yeah, we
How
had a
did
good
that
time.
go?
It went well.
Yes?
It was really Twin Falls County, they call it Obnoxious Weed Bureau.
Obnoxious Weed Bureau?
Because weeds are obnoxious. But anyway, it's Twin Falls County Noxious Weed Bureau. And it was interesting because we've heard quite a bit lately about this quagga mussel
Yeah.
and what it can do.
Yeah.
And they showed me, it's about a foot long. It's about 4 inches in diameter with a hole in the middle, just like a pipe. And that's what those things develop into. And they are really a mess. And it dries rock solid.
Is that why? What is that? They have to check boats and stuff for
Yeah.
those. They come.
Yeah.
Where do they come from?
Other places.
Oh, out east somewhere.
Out east
Clearly
somewhere.
out east somewhere.
It's a government conspiracy, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure they're imported from Massachusetts with a little olive oil and I don't know,
Yeah, that's
cilantro.
right.
It's delicious.
But anyway, they have that on display there, and they can show it to you. It's very, very interesting.
What about
And some
weeds
other
in the
stuff.
ground?
Yeah, they got pictures of weeds. They got real weeds there to show you, and they actually offer quite a few services. So if you just stop by and talk to Callie and the crew there at they're just east of the Ag Pavilion, kind of down a couple places from the elephant ears, they said.
So the question was, did you get an elephant ear?
I didn't. I got a Pepsi at the 4-H booth, and that was it.
Oh
I
my
was a
God. Are
busy
you
man
feeling
yesterday.
okay? Something wrong? What happened? You left the fair without fair food?
Well, I'm going back today, so don't worry.
I see.
I'll be at the Twin Falls County Republican booth today from 4 until 6. Governor Otter's going to be there, and many of the other elected officials. So
I don't know why Millington didn't invite me.
well, I'm
because
inviting
they can't
you.
handle the truth.
Come on down.
They can't handle
Maybe you'll
the
hear the truth for a change.
Oh, please.
It's Open Mind Friday, and we have a call, 73603. Oh, I guess they decided they weren't going to hang around. Well, fine, be that way. How about those Broncos? Oh, wait a minute.
Here it
Can't talk
comes.
about the Broncos yet. Phone's ringing again. Top
Good
story.
morning.
You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning and happy Friday.
Kyle,
You don't
happy
sound very
Friday.
happy.
I know you never sound happy. It's happy
Jill.
Friday. What?
Jill.
What did I do
you
already?
You can't handle the truth.
I can handle it.
No, you can't.
I
And
can handle
Kelly,
it.
watch what you say. Words have meaning. That booth has weed. You're going to have every pothead there. Looking for a smoke that's not even legal in our state.
Oh, I think you should show up with your
well.
weeds. Have them identify your weed.
Well, I'd be careful because the Twin Falls County Sheriff's Department has they have a lot of deputies
It's a large
that are doing
presence,
patrol
isn't
over
there?
there. Yeah. And so we were able to visit with some of those, too, that stopped by.
Tell me
and
they weren't all
say
eating
hi.
the chocolate-covered donuts.
No, one of
Okay.
them had a Twinkie.
Okay. They sell Twinkies there?
No, I don't think so. But anyway,
A deep-fried Twinkie?
He got a Twinkie.
Probably a deep-fried Twinkie.
So, 7360300. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi
you made
there.
me hungry talking about the monkey bread. But you
I
can
thought
make
he
that
said
at
monkey
home
brains
easily,
at first. What's that?
and you can make those at home very easily. You just get some frozen Rhodes rolls. You put them around a bundt pan. You drizzle butterscotch pudding
Oh, you're kidding.
and butter and brown sugar, and you put them in your oven overnight. Don't turn it on. Then in the morning they're all raised up and you cook them, and they are yummy.
Oh, my
Wow.
goodness. Do you chase it with the jalapeno limeade?
No, I'm not quite that adventurous.
I know. That one sounded a little
More like
crazy.
More like a Diet Coke.
Uh,
You know, the
Yeah.
breakfast of champions.
That's
exactly.
right.
You
And
got to offset it, huh?
That monkey cake sounds like it has the 4 basic food groups right
Monkey
there.
Yeah,
bread.
it does. Dairy
What?
and
What did I say? Monkey brains?
You said monkey cake. It's
Oh,
monkey
monkey cake.
bread.
Well, thanks for the call.
Thank you.
When John first said that, I thought he said monkey brains.
Well, no wonder you thought that was odd.
So
And
anyway.
with I was kind of stuck on the jalapeno limeade.
Yeah, that is kind of
Never heard of
interesting.
that one.
Hey, by the way, we've got Terry Rowe coming up. Rowe.
Rowe.
Why do I always get that wrong?
Because it's Jeanette Rowe.
There you go. Yeah, we have too many rows and rows.
Right, it's Terry Rowe.
We're going to have a row with the rose or something like
actually,
that.
we're just
I
going
don't
to have
know.
the row
So
today
yeah. Okay.
from St. Luke's.
Okay, yeah. She's coming up some big Epicurean event coming up.
Yes.
On that. So meanwhile, no, I was there briefly at the fair yesterday, and it was very warm. It was hot.
It's supposed to be cooling off, which will be
Yeah.
nicer for the fair, and
Yeah.
also the Broncos. I went to the press box with Snake, Kendra, our sister
Oh, did
station.
you?
I did. I thought I would support them. It was a lot of fun, and they hung in there till the third quarter, really, and then it just Old Miss finally figured out how to play football after 3 interceptions in the first half. They're like, wait a second.
I saw the first part of the game.
Yeah, then they had 3 touchdown passes, so the quarterback kind of went from, I don't know, go to hero.
0 to hero.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What was the final score? Do you remember?
I think it was 35-13, but correct me if
Okay,
I'm wrong,
somewhere
which I
in
know
there.
you guys will.
Okay, well, we'll have Terry Rowe next here on Top Story. Stay tuned. 7360300 is the number to call here this morning on Top Story. Welcome back. We have Terry Rowe with us from the St. Luke's.
Yes.
And you've got that's pretty big word
It
for
is
me.
a big word. It's
Epicurean. That is 5 syllables, and I don't usually get past 2.
And I don't think everyone who attends even knows the definition.
I don't think they
I
do
know.
either. It's sort of those words like dilettantes, Epicurean.
Yeah.
They're highfalutin words.
That's right. And you hear them all the time, but you never know what they mean.
That's
Yeah.
true. You just go along
But
for
you
the
never
ride.
ask because you're too embarrassed.
That's true.
So what's going to go on this year at the Epicurean?
Well, this year our Epicurean evening has a little bit different flavor to it. We're moving to having the attire not be semi-formal. For one thing, it's denim to diamonds. So we're hoping people will feel a lot more comfortable and not feel like they have to, especially our male counterparts, get all gussied up.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they
Well,
did
it is
get
Idaho
gussied up.
after all.
It is
you know.
Idaho. And so we have usually 12 to 15 chefs, and they prepare their signature dishes, whether it's an entree, appetizer, or dessert. and they're from all over. We have a lot of people coming, so we're excited about that.
Who are you
But
having?
even more exciting
Yeah?
is why we're raising the money.
Okay, so what's it for this year?
It's for cancer patient emergency. A lot of times when people are receiving their cancer treatments, a lot of things can happen to them in the course of this. They may not be able to pay for their medicine. They may not be able to pay for the gas to get them back and forth if they're in one of the outlying counties. Sometimes people are caught off guard and can't work for a couple months, and the electricity is going to get turned off. And anyone and everyone who's ever been touched by any kind of cancer knows what kind of an ordeal it is, let alone some of the other side effects. And so I'm really excited that we're raising money for this fund. It's an important one.
That does sound like a good
And
idea.
there's no better way to celebrate and raise money than food, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Food brings people together.
My gosh,
Yes, it does.
And of course, Cactus Pizza is going to be there with us, and they've got their new chef. And I did not remember to bring his name, but it's a French name. It's wonderful. We're excited. St. Luke's will be there, of course, as will the Ascension, and a lot of the favorites that you've seen in the past, and we've added a few new. So we're kind of excited about changing it up, making it different. We're hoping to have a little bit of country flair in our music this year. And we're hoping to kind of move Epicurean.
Who's going to be the band?
Well, we're hoping we'll have the Bronze there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So we'll see.
There'll be a draw on them just
all by themselves.
That's right.
So we'll see if they've got an open night. I haven't heard the confirmation, so we're hoping so. But
well, you just tell them that you know KLIXcast.
Kelly sent you.
I'm sure they'll just
that'll do it, won't
that's
it?
Wrong.
They'll
Absolutely.
say who?
That's
I'm
right.
sorry, who?
Well, Gary graduated with my husband, so that was also a good get in there and make it happen.
I went to school with him back at St. Ed's.
Oh, you
many,
did?
many years. Well, it was in the middle of the last century, actually.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's sort of dating you, Kelly.
Oh,
Kelly's
what?
dated every
Whatever.
year. I know. Every day he's dated. So what else? Are you going to have your silent auction?
We are, and the team
and a live auction?
Yep. The team over at Mountain States Tumor Institute has been working at bringing together items that we can use for silent and live auction. We're still looking for some adventures. So if anyone has an adventure like a hot air balloon, or they want to fly someone somewhere, or maybe you have some tickets laying around for a jazz game that you don't want to use, we'd love to have them because it goes for the cause.
Right.
And we'd love to have you attend. The tickets are $100 a piece. Which sounds high, but you get a lot for your money. We're going to have wine tasting and beer tasting and pretty much all the food you can eat.
Right.
And then, of course, the fun items this time of the year. A lot of people come for silent auction items because they want to use them for the holidays.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, good idea.
How many people do you think are helped by this? I mean, or in need for help with cancer treatments?
Well, I can tell you that it is a huge need, and that the fund does run out of money usually before we ever get into the end of the year, which is really a desperate time.
Yeah.
And so I have had the opportunity to watch the people come and go from the Tumor Institute, and I thought, well, there can't be that many people coming in. I have been very surprised, and we are so blessed to have Misty here. And Misty we support it from the Valley. It isn't supported from Boise. We support it here. And so that's why we're raising the funds through the Epicurean.
In case people don't know what Misty is, it's the Mountain
States Tumor Institute,
right. Okay.
Yes. And there are so many people availing themselves of that service. I am truly amazed. And we've all been touched by cancer, someone we've known, ourselves, a loved one. And I just can't think of a better way to help our community than to help with some of these emergency expenses that come up.
Sure.
Where do they get tickets, Terry?
They can get tickets from the foundation, 814-0070.
Okay. And that's the only place? And can they buy them at the door, or do you rather them ahead of time?
They can buy them at the door. We'll have a few available, so it's good to check with us to see where we're at on the seating.
And again, the date?
September 26th. We're going to start at 6 o'clock with our program and eat at 7.
At where?
At Canyon Crest Event Center.
All right, very good. Well, we're out of time, but Terry,
Sounds
thank you very
like a lot
much.
of fun.
What's that number again, in case you have questions?
814-0070.
Okay, very good, Terry.
Terry,
Well,
always
appreciate you coming
fun.
in.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back here on this Open Mind Friday, 736-0300. 736 0300. That number should be in your speed dial.
Definitely.
Yes.
Maybe just memorize it.
Okay, memorize
How easy is that?
It's easy to memorize.
736-0300.
That's right. Just wanted to remember you that there is a new pawn shop in town. It's Canyon Pawn. And Dave Hansen and the crew have a really, really nice store. It's on Shoshone Street, right across from Will's Toyota, right on the corner there. It used to be Vickers Western Store many, many, many years ago. But they've got all sorts of stuff there. They got camping supplies and woodworking supplies. And they got fishing poles and tools. And I drive by every once in a while, and I see like bicycles and little four-wheelers sitting out there by the door. And you need to stop in and ask them about how they could possibly win a Savage, how you could possibly win a Savage 17 HMR with AccuTrigger. Giving that away. So stop in, see what the details are. You might be the lucky winner. You can get them online at canyonpawn.com. You can get them on Facebook at Canyon Pawn. You can call them at 933-2600. But best of all, you can stop in and see them and say hi and have a good time. Nice, friendly store, lots of good stuff. And they're doing pawn, too. So if you need some money to go to the fair,
there you
stop
go.
in at Canyon Pawn. So, they're on Shoshone Street across from Will's Toyota.
That or look under your couch cushions.
Yeah, you might try that, too.
You don't know what you could find. You pawn it off.
Usually find little bits of dog food in ours. 736-0300. Top. Whoop.
What?
Okay, they're not hanging around. They're just.
Come on.
They're headed to the fair.
Come
That's what
on.
they're doing. Just thought I would mention probably one of the most important headlines today, ladies and gentlemen. And I know that you have been very concerned about this, but the wait is over. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have finally tied the knot.
Oh, my gosh. I can now sleep at night.
I know. Well, you can now.
Yes.
The wait is over. The pair managed to keep one of the world's most anticipated weddings shrouded from the media glare. They wed Saturday in a private ceremony in southern France, where they exchanged vows in a small chapel at the Chateau Miraval in the province hamlet of Correns. So there you go.
And
I've always liked Angelina Jolie, because first of all, she's always been very easy on the eyes. But I just found out that she's a pro-gun gal. So you know what? I am now in love with Angelina Jolie. Brad Pitt, watch out.
I'm sure he's concerned. They said they wouldn't get married till everyone can get married, and not everyone can get married.
Yeah, I guess
it's moving that way. But
they
you know
jumped
what?
the gun a little bit.
Good for them. Now their 6 kids have official parents.
Sure, absolutely. 736-0300. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. If you go to the computer and punch in preterism.info.com, you'll find out that there's a different notion of all these things that are being taught in the church, that all this great falling away, they're not actually falling away from God. They're just falling away from the false doctrines of these false churches.
Okay.
What they're saying is that Jesus is a liar. He didn't come when he said he would. Instead, he's coming in the future, and it's always in the future. It never gets here, but he did come just as he said he would.
For the Christians listening, he will, and this is kind of part of the plan, because people will start talking. Well, where is he? Where is he? He's not coming. Well, in the blink of an eye, he will be here, and I'm going to not say any more other than say I am glad I am 61 and not 16. 736-0300. Top story. You are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly and Jill. How are you guys doing today?
We're great.
We're just
How are you?
swell. It's Friday. It's a 3-day weekend. We're just,
what could be better
life
than
doesn't
this?
get any better.
Oh, it doesn't get much better than that at all.
That's right.
All right. So this might sound a little bit crazy, but I saw some wildlife in the sky southwest of Filer on Thursday night. I was wondering if anybody else saw that stuff.
You kind of cut out a little bit. What did you see?
Saw some crazy lights in the sky southwest of Filer on Thursday night.
It's the fair.
Wow.
No, I don't know.
I don't believe the fair was southwest of Filer, Jill.
They could be real bright. I don't know. I don't know. What did they look like?
Yeah.
It was tough. I didn't get to see them while I was driving when I saw them. I didn't get to see them while I was stopped. so I was trying to pay attention to driving. But
were they blinking? Was it going on and off? Was it white? Was it different colors?
I think they were like orange, and they blinked a few times, and then I never saw them again. And about 10 minutes later, I saw another one. It was very weird, and I just thought I would put that out there on an open mind and see if anyone else saw that.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we haven't heard anything about that yet, but thank you. We'll find out.
I know I've mentioned several times on here about those orbs that I saw.
Oh, yeah.
Several years ago, but those were east of town, and they were close to the ground. They were within like 50 feet. That was weird. So, I still don't know what that was. If anybody saw some weird lights southwest of Filer,
blinking off.
Now, I know the beer garden opened at the fair, but he was driving, though, so, okay. Maybe that wasn't it. Just kidding. What did you see? Did you see any funny lights up in the sky last night? 736-0300 is the number to call. 736-0300 is the number to call here on this Open Mind Friday, so you can give us a call. I don't know. I did not see, and I always miss the good stuff, it seems like. I did not see the weird lights in the sky southwest of Filer.
And he said Thursday, or last night or Thursday?
Yeah, well, he said Thursday. That was last night.
Oh, that's last night.
Yeah, so.
Don't know.
And I usually, now I have, as everyone knows, I have resealed my deck. And I gave it 2 coats. And the first
Did you post it on Facebook
yes,
so we all
I did.
could see? Oh, good. I was just dying.
There's a reason to my story here.
Yes.
I sealed it first, and it dried very quickly. And I just soaked it in, and it really looked good. So I thought, man, I'm going to give it a second coat.
Okay.
So I give it a second coat, and it is taking forever to dry because it's not soaking in now. It's just setting there. So I like to go out on the deck, especially in the evening or at night.
So are things sticking to it?
Well, I don't have anything back on the deck yet. I'm waiting for it to dry.
Like bugs or something?
So anyway, I like to sit on the deck and look at the sky and see. You would be surprised at how active of an air route it is over Twin Falls. I mean, there are planes up high flying constantly.
Really?
And so I like to, and I never see anything interesting like this gentleman was telling us about. So I don't know if anybody else has or not. We have another caller. Maybe they've seen some top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I wanted to touch on. You had a few days ago. I think it was Miss Idaho on the radio. Is that correct? Yeah, I want to touch on something. I was thinking about that. I also listen to NPR, and I was listening to this survey they did on how men of different ethnic backgrounds look at beauty, and they say that most white men look at beauty as skinny, blonde hair, and blue eyes. And on this survey they did, where African American men and Hispanics, their view on beauty is much broader. It's just much broader. And I was wondering if Jill can maybe touch on that and give me your opinion on that. It's a survey that
I'm not a man. What do you mean?
Well, let me ask Kelly then.
What's the question?
I can tell you that.
My question is they did a survey on men of different ethnic backgrounds. And they did a thing where, like, Anglo men, I thought this was interesting, that their view on beauty is blonde, blue eyes, and skinny for a woman, where African-American men and Latino men look at beauty much broader. They're all beautiful. All women are beautiful.
I think any woman is beautiful, right? You look as a thing of beauty, right, Kelly?
I sometimes am repulsed by skinny, blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
That's a strong word.
Well, I know it is, but especially when they try to look like a Barbie doll. Okay, and I guess I fall in line with the African American men and Hispanic men in this deal because I see beautiful women everywhere, and they don't have to be young, they don't have to be skinny, they don't have to have blonde hair, they don't have to have blue eyes. I mean,
you just notice them all.
Winnie Christensen, when she was here, she was a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And
so was Sierra. I mean, there's beauty.
Sierra Sanderson is beautiful. I mean,
and here's a news flash.
We men are so lucky we have beautiful women everywhere.
But you guys are so superficial. I mean, really, if you're talking about the outer shell of a person, but honestly, the beauty is really, within. I mean, there can be beautiful people wwho are quite ugly inside, and you don't see the beauty anymore. So, it's interesting.
Just so we keep everything on
superficial,
just so we keep it on the plain and level flight here. We're just talking right now about beauty. We're not talking about personality,
physical beauty.
And really, you don't have to wear a size 0 in order for me to find you beautiful. Okay.
No, and you don't have to be
And
biased. It depends on what people like.
I'm going to brag about myself here. I am proud of that fact. I am proud that I can see people see beautiful women. I've seen beautiful 60. My wife is beautiful, and
you better have said that.
And I see women in their 70s who are beautiful. And they're everywhere. We're just so lucky.
So he just shattered the survey. I
did.
Know. But actually, speaking of Miss Idaho, her send-off party is Saturday, 1 to 3 at Lighthouse Christian Church. So if you want to see a beautiful young lady, inside and out, she was lovely.
And tall.
Tall.
7360300, top story. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hello?
You stole my thunder there, Jill.
What? Why? How? What?
Well, I'm a white male.
Yeah.
And I don't look at just exterior.
Very good.
I mean, beauty is more than skin deep. I mean, a personality and everything can make to me, a woman glow.
Yeah.
Because she's beautiful all the way through. Most of the girls, when I was growing up, that was beautiful and good to look at, was just an absolute snot, didn't want even to be around.
Yeah, I agree.
They're just so stuck on themselves, it wasn't even funny.
It's true.
They can't pass a mirror without breaking their neck, you know?
So the guys that did this survey are just totally vain. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
They're just...
I think it was probably L'Oreal or somebody that did the survey.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting that the caller wanted to know my point of view. I'm like, well, I don't know if I could answer that one, but anyway.
Yeah. I would happily answer something like that.
Yeah.
So.
And there you go. All right, so we were off to the races.
Well, I do have one more headline that I just wanted to bring up. I'm not going to comment on it or anything. It's just a headline, okay?
What?
President Obama says at this point we do not have a plan on what to do with the expansion of ISIS in Syria and other areas. However, it has been rumored that he does plan to attend the wedding of George Clooney at Clooney's Italian villa in September. And
what does one have to do with the other is so ridiculous. Why even read this stuff is so ridiculous.
We don't have a plan for ISIS and what to do.
Well, to invade in Syria, yeah.
They're going to be invading us soon if we don't do something about it.
Oh yeah, they're going to take a boat over here and a plane over here.
But yet we're decreasing the ranks of the military and all that stuff in a time when the world is getting tougher and tougher. Hey, just a headline, folks, but he will be attending the wedding in Italy of George Clooney.
Well, that's rumored. Who knows?
So now we know the truth. 7360300.
What is he supposed to go to ISIS and go to Syria? I mean, we're doing airstrikes in Iraq. That's what we're doing.
No, he doesn't have time to worry about that. He's going to Italy. He's
You're never off duty
as
to
Italy.
We don't know if that's true. That's just rumored.
Actually,
it said rumored.
It is true. George Clooney said that President Obama has answered yes to his RSVP.
Where did he say that?
I saw it online this morning.
Oh, it must be true.
It's got to be.
It's got to be true.
If it's not true, they can't put it on the internet.
Yes,
7360300.
Oh no. We're too busy arguing to answer the phone.
Okay, now it's ringing again. Okay. Top story, you are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly and Jill. I'm calling about the lights in the western skies.
Did you see them?
Yeah, come out to where we live west of Miracle Hot Springs, and you'll see them all the time. It's the Air Force plane.
Okay.
Are they orange lights?
Yeah, they have, I think, I don't know the technical term, but they're probably a tracer-type bomb that they drop, and they're an orange flare that poofs, and then they'll drop, and they'll poof again several times.
So they're probably using those as practice bombs.
Mm-hmm, yep.
So you're out by the Sailor Creek bombing range, then?
Fairly close.
Wow, is that a little nerve-wracking at times?
It's very comforting.
I'll bet it's
comforting.
Absolutely, I'll bet it would be. Hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate that.
You betcha.
All right, see, there's
we
another
have the best listeners. We ask and they answer.
That's right, another mystery solved. 7360300. Top story. You're on the air on this Open Mind Friday.
Hey, Kelly, Joe, it's Carl.
Carl, how are you? You haven't gotten any tickets, have you?
No, because I've been watching for the drones. Hey, I only got one thing to say this morning, and that is that President Obama is supposed to be the commander-in-chief.
Yeah?
Not the golf and the wedding planner guy.
Oh, my gosh.
And he needs to do something. Yeah, Jill, that's true.
Why shouldn't he play golf on vacation? Why can't you play on a weekend? He's never off duty.
Okay, if I went on my job and said, well, I'm going to go play golf for 2 months, I'd get fired.
What are you talking about for 2 months?
He's been on vacation for 2 months.
What? he went on vacation to Martha's Vineyard, came back, had 3 press conferences.
Carl,
what are you talking about?
Carl, let me tell you this. Sounds like you and I are kind of on the same level here. It would only be my dream for President Obama to be on vacation all the time.
Yes, it would. Somebody else.
George Bush was on 3 times as much as Obama by the same time in his presidency, over 400 days. No one seemed to care. Why? And look at the damage.
He was still taking care of business.
What do you think President Obama's doing? If you don't think a president is always on duty,
we don't have a plan yet for ISIS. I mean, come on, man.
Are we supposed to invade Syria?
Crisis.
Are we supposed to invade Syria?
This is reaching a crisis deal.
Shouldn't Congress vote on acts of war? Where's Congress? They're on vacation.
He hasn't even asked
them yet. They're on a 5-week vacation. They're doing airstrikes in Iraq.
In a case like this, I'm pretty sure the Congress would come back and make a decision if somebody would call him back.
Really?
Yeah.
They're sitting there saying he should deal with it himself.
I just saw the headline this morning. There was some guy in Chicago being chased by police waving an ISIS flag out his window. It has reached our shores, and we're stupid to think of it that it hasn't.
Oh, give me a break.
What are we concerned about? We're concerned about when's my next golf date, whose wedding am I going to be going to?
That is
and
demeaning.
Things like that. 7360300.
You don't even know if he's going to the wedding, but let's just put it out there.
Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
It's crazy to me that all this talk is happening now. I've been watching. And I don't want to be too critical of refugees coming in, but I've been watching all of these people coming in to even Twin Falls. How many ISIS members are living right here in Twin? That's what I want to know.
It is a scary thought, isn't it?
Because of our refugees?
Well, look how diverse. Look at all the people that they're importing into Twin Falls.
They're refugees. They're going to be killed in their homes.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
Because
you're diverse doesn't make you an ISIS member.
What's happening is our borders are so open right now that these bad people can get in even right along with everybody else because there's so many. They're overwhelming them at the border, at the southern border. And they have said that there are...
Oh, my gosh.
There's an increase right now in passports and in visas from the countries like Syria and places like that. Now, maybe it's just because people are wanting to get out of there and get over here, but not all the people who are... The chatter that's going on right now, because we are coming up on the 13th anniversary of September 11, our officials are saying that the chatter has increased now to levels that it did before pre-9/11. The telephone chatter and the internet chatter and such that's going on. So, hey.
But I'm sorry. You know what? Because you have diversity in this town and refugees come here, don't sit there and label them as ISIS members. These people are leaving their countries because they're in threat of being killed.
I don't think he was saying that.
He did. He was talking about refugees.
But
come on.
Some of them could be, unbeknownst to anyone.
Oh,
and you're saying they couldn't?
I'm saying don't label that. That's like the person saying the kids... let me finish.
Well,
that's like the person from Central America
not labeling right
saying
now.
They had Ebola.
You're saying we can't have any bad people here.
That's not what I'm saying. But don't sit there and say because we have refugees here that are diverse, that they're from ISIS. Like the guy who said the kids from Central America are bringing Ebola here. Come on, stop with the hyperbole and do with facts.
You have to have an open mind on this, that there's a possibility that people coming into this country right now are bad people.
Oh, but because someone is different does not mean that they are a terrorist. And because you're a Muslim doesn't mean you're a terrorist. But that's what people are spreading. Come on.
7360300. Top story, you're on the air.
Jill.
What?
You will agree with me on this.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to agree with you on anything today, except that it's Friday. What?
I guarantee you'll agree with me on this, and this is a big concern of mine and been for a while, that 9/11 has accomplished one thing, and we're going to end up getting so paranoid that we're going to start profiling people, and there's going to be problems because innocent people are going to get hurt. And it's just sad. It's sad that it's human nature when you're afraid to suspect anyone and everyone that's in that category.
Do you think it's fair to ask the question, or to say, make the statement that the terrorists have won?
The terrorists have accomplished what they wanted, and that was to make us afraid.
Yep.
And they have succeeded.
And bankrupt.
We have, and they've done both, and they're still doing it. We're dumping millions of dollars into something that is going to be almost impossible to kill, because it's kind of like the syndicate.
You can't kill it.
If you cut off the head, do you think you've cut off?
Gotta go, man. We're out of time. But coming up next hour, we're going to be talking about a pizza restaurant in Arkansas that was giving people discounts when they brought their church bulletin in. But there's one group that has a big problem with that, and they are demanding that they stop. That's after the news here on Top Story. Good morning, and welcome back to Top Story. 7360300 is the number to call. Third day of the Twin Falls County Fair today.
That's it. That's right.
Are you going to the fair?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, if you get a chance.
I don't know. I might.
You
I know I'm not
yet.
going to the Republican booth between 4 and 6.
Well, now, wait a minute.
No, fine, no.
I am.
They don't want me. Fine. It's fine.
I'm sure they would
No.
welcome you with open arms,
Would they?
Joe. Absolutely,
Would they?
They would.
I don't know.
They would.
Anyway, so I'm not sure about that.
Okay, well, anyway, I'll be there from 4 till 6 today. Governor Otter's going to be there, and many of the other elected officials, so stop by.
Really?
And say
So are you
hi.
going to interview them on air?
Yeah, we'll be talking to them right here.
Ask them what their favorite fair food is. Some
Probably.
tough questions for the election coming up.
That's right. Only the toughest from me,
Funnel cake or monkey bread?
That was funny. I thought he said monkey brains at first. I mean, wow,
try that one.
that is unusual even for the county fair.
You know what? You should see how political they really are and go monkey brains or whatever and see what they say. Yeah, definitely monkey brains. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so anyways,
Whatever.
It's Open Mind Friday. 7360300 is the number to call. Interesting story here this morning. A pizza restaurant in Arkansas is receiving both acclaim and condemnation for offering discounts to people who bring in their church bulletin. Bailey's Pizza in Searcy, Arkansas, started the discount earlier this summer as a way to get people to visit their shop. The Freedom from Religion Foundation has taken issue with the discount, sending a letter to the owners of the pizza restaurant and demanding they stop this church-related discount. How dare they? It has nothing to do with excluding anybody. Stephen Rose, who owns Bailey's Pizza with his wife Amber, said it's not specific to any church. It's another way to bring people in and make them feel welcome.
How can you say it's not about excluding someone if you don't go to a church or one that passes out a church bulletin? Of course it excludes people. Or if you don't go to a church at all. But I mean, that's...
Stop at a church, pick up a bulletin, and walk out and take it down there.
Oh, come on. I could
Seriously.
just walk into a church. Oh, give me your bulletin.
So you're saying that these people who own their own business can't offer something like this?
No, what I'm saying is, how can he say it's not to exclude people? Of course it is. People who don't go to church.
Maybe he's encouraging
people who go to a synagogue.
He's encouraging people to
people
go to
who
church.
Don't have
to get a bulletin and then come to it's an encouragement.
He says it's not. He says it's not to exclude people. I don't know how you can say that.
No, I'm saying it's an encouragement for people to go to church and get a bulletin.
This is the deal about businesses I don't get. Why get political? Why get religious? Just sell pizza.
That's
sell
not
pizza.
political. That's not religious.
Of course it is.
It's like...
What if he passed out an Islam bulletin? You had to have an Islam bulletin or a mosque bulletin. People would be up in arms. Are you kidding me? Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh.
The Department of Justice in Washington would make sure that they quashed that. But this, on the other hand, they're not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. 7360300 is the number to call. I say more power to them. It's your business. Do what you want. If you want to offer a discount to people who bring ticket stubs from some sporting event or whatever, more power to you. From a church, more power to you. I don't care. It's your business. This is America. And this Freedom from Religion Foundation, you know what? Let them go bark up a tree. 7360300. Top story. You're on the air.
Hey, I used to work sales, and we would come up with any kind of discount we could think of just to get people in the door. It's not about inviting people that are strictly religious. It's just about driving people into the door. Someone who's not religious can go in there and ask for the same discount, and they can get the discount. It's not a big deal.
I
don't know. Do you work for Bailey's? How do you know? How do you know they don't say, "Where's your church bulletin?" And you only can do it with the church bulletin.
I do know this. Most places, you see these coupons from a certain place. A lot of times, in fact, many times, when you go to a competitor, and they will honor that discount just to get back at their competitors. So,
well, some do that.
7360300, top story. You're on the air. What do you think?
I think that the company has a right to do what they like with that for two reasons. First is that it's not an all-inclusive exclusion like, well, only Catholics can get a discount. Even people from the Church of Satan or, Scientology can get this discount. And secondly, there are other companies out there who also have similar exclusive discounts available, like, for example, for students.
Yep.
So, I mean, if people are going to have a fit about, oh, well, you can only get a discount if you're part of the church, then they should not be exclusive themselves and throw a fit about all the other similar types of discounts.
Oh, great point. I like that.
I have to say, I would not go to that pizza place again.
And that would certainly be
and
your
that's
right.
Fine.
That's
and
right.
maybe that's what they want. Why is your phone ringing? Why is it not on silent?
I don't know.
We're only doing a radio show.
I get weird calls all the time.
Well, why don't you just turn it off?
Okay, there, it's turned off.
But to me, I just think as a business, yeah, you can do what you want. I just think some of these businesses, it's like, you come up with things and you think, why do you do these things? It doesn't make sense. And it was like when I worked at Reebok, there was a promotion with Dunkin' Donuts. And and I'm sorry, but, sporting good companies, footwear companies, they can tend to be sexist, which, a lot of them, sorry, they were. But the promotion was this guy was from marketing, and they were going to give us when the pump basketball shoe was up, the pump. Mm-hmm. Okay, it was a big deal. Right. If you wanted Dunkin' Donuts, you could win a pair of men's basketball shoes. All right, it was men's or boys or whatever, men's and boys. And I said, well, what if a woman wins? He goes, well, she can give it to her boyfriend or her husband. And I said, no. I said, unless the demographics of Dunkin' Donuts is all male, no, you're going to have to offer something for women or for girls or whoever, something comparable. You just cannot do that. So, of course, we changed it. But if you did that, do you know the outrage that starts? So I just wonder when you think of businesses, like with Chick-fil-A, with anything, I don't get it. I would just do something a little bit more non-controversial. Fine, give out a coupon anywhere. Give it out. I mean, why even get into that realm? You can do what you want. I think it's bad marketing.
I would bet you that if someone from the Freedom from Religion Foundation took in a letter or a newsletter or some bit of material from that organization to this pizza joint, I'll bet they would honor it.
We don't know that, though, do we?
I'll bet they would.
No one's been to Bailey's Pizza in Arkansas.
I will bet they would
Someone
honor
please go to Bailey's Pizza in Searcy, Arkansas, and see what you can bring in to get a discount.
7360300, top story, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
The funny thing about all this is probably going to give them more exposure, and they're going to have more customers, and they know what to do with it.
You got it.
On the business side end of it, but on the other end, we have the atheists complain about, we've taken prayer out of schools, and even though people that weren't Christian never were forced to pray, we have people who get upset about the cross as you're going into Boise up on a little hill up there, that it offends them, and I don't know if it's like a vampire burning them when they go past it or what, but yet here's the ironic thing about all of it. When individuals get to prison, one of the first books that they're offered, or one of the first books that they can get in the library, is the Bible. They weren't taught any of this as young kids, just the basic 10 Commandments, and now look where they are. So, the atheists are just one more step in helping to destroy this country and, take away what this country was founded on, and it was a basic Christian belief.
But we're not a theocracy, and that's what our Constitution is trying to uphold, that we're not a theocracy, and that's the thing that does it. And so when you have you have schools, you have governmental properties, We do not have it
Okay, but
determine what kind of religion. So, I mean, when you
Bailey's
talk about,
Pizza
I'm
in
referring
Searcy,
to, but I'm
Arkansas
referring to the caller when he said they've taken this out of schools, they've
is
taken
not
it
part
out
of the
of that.
government.
I understand that, but yeah, they can do what they want. But I'm saying, don't blame it on, for taking prayer out of school. That it's trying to uphold our Constitution.
I wouldn't really even care if the Freedom from Religion Foundation just said, you know what, we don't really like what you're doing. That wouldn't even bother me. But they have written a letter to them demanding that they stop.
They can, but you can do what you want. It's America.
What? That's ridiculous.
You can do what you want.
How dare you? If you don't want to take advantage of this, then don't worry about it.
They have every right to write the letter.
And they have every right to do that coupon.
Exactly.
But
so there you go.
Don't write to me and tell me in my private life and my private business that something you don't agree with, that you demand I stop. You know what? Go jump in a lake.
You know what? They can do what they want. They can write the letter. The people can abide by the letter. The people can do their coupon. They can do what they want. It's America. You can't prevent someone from doing that. That's why we live here. The point of it is as a business, I don't even know why you touch your toe in those waters. I don't get it. Just let people come in and have pizza. Let people have their little Chick-fil-A and waffle fries. Stay out of the political arena. Stay out of the religious arena. Stay out of it. It's not good business. It's not good business.
7360300. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly and Jill. How are you
Good
guys?
morning, Semper Fi. How are you?
Semper Fi. Jill, you had way too many cups of coffee this morning.
I didn't even have coffee. I'm not drinking it anymore.
Well, listen.
What?
Listen, I look at it this way. It's their right to do what they want. I mean, if somebody doesn't want to patronize that business, but man, what if somebody doesn't like students that gives discounts? What if somebody doesn't like military that gives discounts?
Or senior citizens.
I mean, this is America. This is free country. And we have a right to do what we want. Just like you said, Jill.
Yeah.
They have a right to write the letter.
They
I don't
do.
like it. But, man, if somebody wants to do something to drum up business, I thought it was great advertisement. This is what we call free enterprise.
Yep.
I wouldn't think it was great because if I don't go to a church. So then you think, okay, well that's nice. But to me, so then I would be like, wow, that's really kind of rude. I wouldn't patronize it.
Well,
you got to think of everyone, but you don't. I mean, I just think it's bad marketing. Fine.
7360300. Oh, let's see what we got here. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Pat.
Hi, Pat.
We haven't heard from you in a
How's
while.
Jill and Kelly today, besides riling everybody up?
We're just having a great time.
How are you? Where have you been?
Just busy working and listening to you guys.
Wow.
I have relatives that live in Arkansas.
Yeah?
And the people that haven't been to Arkansas, they're not a different country than where we're at.
Yeah.
There's a church on every corner somewhere in that state. I mean, you go even out in the country, and every mile, about the end of every mile road is a little church.
Yep.
And those people there are very church-going people. That's a very church-going area, and we're putting words into things that aren't there because that's pretty common for that area.
For them to offer discounts to
I don't know about the discounts, but I'll tell you what, everybody goes to church. And I asked one of my relatives there, and I says, and how come there's a church on every corner? They said, well, if you get mad at that minister, you just go over to the next mile and go to that church.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the churches should offer pizza.
That's the 14th Baptist Church of the United Pentecostal Front or something like that. Anyway, we'll be right back here on Top Story, 7360300. 7360300 is the number to call on this Open Mind Friday. And I just wanted to say that yesterday's $100 instant winning name is Dewey Cavan.
Dewey Cavan, congratulations.
And the $100 word of the day for today is my favorite writing utensil, crayons.
Crayons.
Crayons. Crayons.
Didn't they always have like the weirdest colors? You're like sienna. What is that?
I know.
They'd have the weirdest colors.
Chartreuse.
Well, I understand. What is sienna
Puce.
color?
I don't know. I know red,
I
white,
know they
and
have
blue.
cars
and that's
named
about it.
Sienna, but I'm like, what is that color? I never knew. But anyway,
Okay,
crayon.
well, now that you've gotten us totally off track, you can go to our
Yeah,
website
yeah.
at newsradio1310.com, click on Word of the Day, type in crayons, almost said Sienna, type in crayons, and listen Monday. And if you hear your name Monday and you played the word today, you win $100.
There you go. That's how easy that one is.
Joan Rivers
I know.
is resting comfortably in a medically induced coma just hours after she performed a typically acerbic show in Manhattan and joked about her own death.
No way.
Yeah. So that'll teach you. The 81-year-old comic was rushed from the Upper East Side Clinic to Mount Sinai Hospital in critical condition yesterday morning after she stopped breathing during a routine medical procedure.
They said she was having throat surgery, something on her vocal cords, so I wonder if she was having a nodule taken off.
Probably. Could very well have been. A picture of health only the day before. Rivers accepted a bouquet of flowers from a fan as she finished her stand-up performance at around 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday. A picture of... Oh, sorry, I was reading the same paragraph again. The entertainment legend even... Hey, there goes Jack.
Hi, Jack!
The entertainment legend even posed for pictures with a fan on the way out of the Laurie Beecham Theater, only to suffer respiratory failure less than 12 hours later during surgery on her throat.
You know, surgery at any time, any age, but when you're 81,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you have to wonder, and you're like, how bad was her nodule? She could still talk.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, she is a funny lady.
She is crude, she is rude, she is socially unacceptable, and funny as heck.
She really is funny. I mean, still at her age,
I
man,
know,
with it and
I know.
funny.
Well, she's on that. She has that Fashion Police show, and my wife watches that religiously.
See, I
mean,
don't
she
watch
records
that.
it and plays back, especially after like the Emmys and the
Was
Academy
she
Awards,
brutal?
because they go through and they grade everyone on what they're wearing, you know.
I
And my
wanna-
wife just loves that stuff.
I wanted to watch that documentary on her that she did because she is just like the hardest working person.
Yeah, she really
And
is.
She just works
Yeah.
it, and she's 81. You think
And you know,
still
81,
doing stand up in a club?
and 81 anymore isn't that old.
Wait, 81 still doing stand up in a club? My mother's 81. Could you see my mother doing stand up in a club?
I could actually.
You could.
Yeah, I could see.
Actually,
your
my
mother
mom is
stand-up.
funny, but anyway.
7360300. Top story. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Kelly, I'd like to be introduced to some of those men standing around 2,000 years old waiting for the Lord to come. Can you imagine the stories they could tell you?
I know. Believe me. Yeah, that would be interesting. And well, anyway, I don't want to get off on a religious.
Oh my God, we already just
We're
did.
almost
we already
out of
did.
time. We've only got 30 minutes
we
left.
just did pizza in Arkansas, people. What more can we do?
Here's another one. New York Senator. Oh, wait
No,
a minute.
no, you were gonna
I
talk
got
about-
the wrong one.
Oh my God.
Where's my story? Here we are.
Oh
One
my
Florida mother's Facebook status didn't go over well with her son's preschool. Mother Ashley Habat recently complained on Facebook after the Sunshine Christian Academy, and that is SONSHINE, Christian Academy, didn't give enough notice about Picture Day. Even though Habat said her Facebook post was private, she still tagged the school, and the next day she was reportedly told by school administrators that the school would not be a good fit for her son, according to Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow, maybe
Outlet
because the
TV.
school wasn't very understanding.
In the post
Whoa.
in question, Habat asked, "Why is it that every single day there is something new I dislike about Will's school? Are my standards really too high, or are people working in the education field really just that ignorant?"
Ouch.
A letter of dismissal given to Habat from the school said her relationship with Sunshine did not get off to a very good start the first day of school.
Really?
Stating that she utilized social media to call into question not only the integrity but the intelligence of our staff. These actions are also consistent with sowing discord, which is spoken of in the handbook that you signed.
Ooh.
The school did not respond to requests for comment. The incident has drawn responses on both ends of the spectrum. On Mommyish, Maria Guido asserted that Habat should have tagged the school in her post.
Should not have
tagged it. Sorry you have to find a new preschool, but this is really your own fault, she wrote. On The Stir, Lisa Fogarty said that she hopes the school forgives and forgets. So what do you think? If you have a mother out there who's constantly posting derogatory stuff about the private school that she's sending her kid to, I'm kind of thinking, if it's really that bad, get your kid out and take him somewhere else.
Then someone said, and someone wrote, well, she believes it's in Christian values, one of which is forgiveness. Maybe they should have forgiven her. Maybe they should have talked to her. Maybe they said, what is the problem that's going on here? Instead of just giving the kid a letter, leaving his friends, whatever. What do you guys think?
Yeah, what would you do? 736-0300, the number to call, and we will be right back. We must be back. 736-0300 was the number to call here on this Open Mind Friday. I don't know. I see several things that both sides could have done in that little issue there, but we'll talk about that when we come back. But first, I want to tell you.
I was like, where are we going?
Well,
you got to tell us something.
And I've mentioned this before, that a farmer of Idaho can fly over your fields and take infrared photography. And you're saying, well, so what's the big deal about that? Well, with infrared photography, it shows up things that you would never notice with just regular photography, or even especially with the naked eye. And they fly over, giving you a kind of a third dimension look at your fields, and you can look down and you can see if the water is getting where it's supposed to be. You might have some dry spots in your fields and not even know it, even if you have a pivot, which is supposed to water everything equally, right? And then difference in ground densities, and all of this plays in, and it makes a difference. And you may think you're getting maximum yield from your crops, and then you look at it from an infrared point of view, from the top down, and you might look at that and say, oh, wow, we've got some problems here. Well, then you can take care of these problems. You can fix them. You can get the water where it's supposed to be, and increase your yield and more than pay for these overflights from Farmore of Idaho. Ask them about Infrared Baron, 324-3341, or farmoreofidaho.com, and they'd probably love to have you just stop in their store in Jerome and say hi and talk about Infrared Baron and tell them that we told you about it.
That's right.
Okay, there are several avenues here that we could go with this story about this mother on Facebook who posted all this stuff about, geez, this school is really bad because of this, or that, and the other thing, and they posted on Facebook and
tagged the school.
And tagged the school. And, Facebook, first of all, should not be the avenue that we choose to communicate with people.
Why
when
can't
we have,
someone...
especially on a personal level where we have an issue.
Why don't we talk to people
business.
anymore?
I know.
Why can't we just go in and talk to the person instead of posting? It's like stabbing someone in the back, talking behind their back. You're telling everyone, the person doesn't know and finds out on Facebook. I don't get this.
Yeah, so she should have gone in and talked to the school if she had a problem.
Yeah, and so now that her kid...
Apparently she's had a problem from day one at this school.
Well, and then she said they didn't give enough notice for picture day, so I'm sure her child's now in a lime green shirt, and everyone in the school class picture now has to suffer because she didn't pay attention. This one kid in the lime green shirt, which will now not look as nice as everyone else.
Will have mental issues now for the rest of his life.
Not to mention all the other parents, if it was a group picture, going, why didn't his mother dress him better? What? So anyway, I don't understand. You have problems with the school. It's a private school, I think, right?
Yeah.
She must be paying money to go there.
It looks like a parochial school.
So just go in and talk to them and tell them what your concerns are and see if they can fix it. If not, maybe your child should go to another school.
And I don't know. Maybe she did. It doesn't sound like she did, but maybe she did and couldn't get any satisfaction. I find that hard to believe. And then on the other hand, maybe the school should have contacted her and said, hey, would you please come in and we'll talk about this.
Before giving her a letter of dismissal. It is a Christian school. What happened to forgiveness? Turn the other cheek. Yada, yada, yada. Something. That's what some people said.
But the bottom line is, if you do have a problem like that with a business or something, and if it's that bad, then take your child out and put them in another school.
Right. Maybe
rather than just be a thorn in the side of the school that's there. You decide maybe you're going to pick on them. Well, they're not going to be able to do anything right, and when they don't do it right, I'm going to post it on Facebook.
It's
so
just,
at some point, maybe
ridiculous.
the school has to say, you know what? You're not cooperating. You're making no attempt to cooperate. So why don't you just take your child and leave?
See, if I was the school, instead of sending a letter of dismissal, I would call her in and say, I understand you're having some problems reading this. What is your problem? What can we do to help this, or address it? Instead of, I don't understand this. It's like we have more communication than ever, yet no one talks one-to-one anymore.
That's right.
Honestly.
That is true.
I mean, friends are texting each other instead of speaking the oral word. I just talked to them.
We work in a building here, I don't know how many square feet it is, maybe 3,000 square feet of that. And we have email. And somebody can be in the next cubicle. All you have to do is raise your voice and they will hear you. But no, we sit there and we write them an email.
I mean, in email I can understand. Sometimes you need it in writing, yada yada yada. I get that, but
But
just
the point I'm trying to make
saying with
is-
your friends, you see a group of teenagers, they're texting probably the same person in the group they're standing with.
Yes. Oh, we think it's as bad now. We ain't seen nothing yet.
We will
This
mutate.
generation that has started communicating via texting and social media.
Well, I think they are
it's-
having interpersonal
Yes.
relationship issues.
This is going to be chaos, ladies and gentlemen, when these kids grow up.
They can't deal. You can't negotiate.
No.
You can't talk. You send a text. Is that how you're going to deal with your spouse?
OMG. Things are going to get really bad, folks. We ain't seen nothing yet. 736-0300, the number to call. 736-0300 is the number to call. Up next, we're going to talk about the sleazeballs in Congress. The
On a
senators.
whole nother level.
Yes, but first I want to tell you about Pat Hartzell from Stanley & Company. He is anything but. He's a nice guy. He's got the Lowen honey loader, and he wants you to call him up and make an appointment to see one of these honey loaders in operation so that you might decide it might be something that you could use on your feedlot or dairy. His number is 280-1167, 280-1167. Say, Pat, I heard Kelly and Jill talking about the Lowen honey loader. I think it's time that we consider one of these. And he'll say, you know what, let me make an appointment for you at somebody who's using one. I'll get back to you, and I'll meet you there. Just like that.
Just like that.
If nothing else, you can call Pat and just say hi.
Oh, because I'm sure he would like that.
Yeah, he would. 280-1167. Pat Hartzell with Stanley & Company and the Lowen honey loader.
There you go. Okay, so this is interesting. We talk about Congress. You wonder, could they have a lower approval rating? And then you think, no, I don't think that's possible, but it could be. But then you read something like this. New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand. I'm
Gillibrand.
Sure, Gillibrand. Have you seen her?
I think it's Kirsten.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
Okay, whatever.
I'd bet money.
Kirsten
Gillibrand.
See, I've heard of Gillibrand, but whatever, Gillibrand. Okay,
well,
has
she's
a new
pronouncing
book.
it wrong if she's saying Gillibrand. Go ahead.
Anyway, I could write my own book. All right, I'm going to write my own book. She has a new book
You
coming
already
out.
did.
Yeah, no, something a little bit bigger than recipes. You're going down, pal. Anyway, she has a new book coming out. It's called Off the Sidelines and has been making the media rounds to promote it. The New York Post highlighted parts of the book today in an article titled, Gillibrand, Male Colleagues Called Me Porky After Baby. Washington
Whoa.
Post. As awful as that headline is, things get worse in the book, according to the story. One quote in particular stands out. Gillibrand reveals that one male senator, after she lost about 50 pounds, came up behind her and gave her waist a squeeze. Don't lose too much weight now, he told her. I like my girls chubby. She says that he was one of her favorite senators, too. As Gillibrand's title infers, the book goes on into detail about the things that women in politics still have to deal with that their male counterparts, well, actually don't. Yes, there are more women in Congress than ever before, but there are still far fewer women than men serving. There are 20 women in the Senate, 79 women in the House. According to the National Conference of State Legislatures, women make up only 24.2% of all state legislatures. A 2013 article from the Texas Observer highlights how this is a problem for women legislators across the country. The reporter tells of the stories women politicians have told her. Some told of senators oogling women on the Senate floor. Can you imagine? You think it's so distinguished. It's so awe-striking that you should be on the Senate floor. Oogling on the Senate floor, or...
Is that oogling or ogling?
What are you? What are you?
What am I what?
What? Every word I have to say? What? It's not ogling.
Well, pronounce it
It's
correctly.
not ogling.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It's only one O.
It's not ogling.
Okay.
Ogling? Who says ogling?
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, my
Go ahead.
gosh. Watching porn on iPads.
What?
Yes.
The outrage.
On state-owned computers. Yes, now the outrage of legislators hitting on female staffers or using them to help them meet women, and of hundreds of little comments in public and private that women had to brush off to go about their day. Some said they often felt marginalized, not listened to, and that sexism in the legislature made their jobs harder and at times produced public policy hostile to women. Yet despite their strong feelings, women in the Capitol rarely talk about, except in the most private discussions, the misogyny they see all the time. It's just the way the legislature has always been. Gillibrand surely isn't alone in having to deal with such comments with her male colleagues at the Capitol, although some of her encounters are jaw-droppingly bad and offensive. When she was still in the House, a Southern representative told her, "You know, Gersten, you're even prettier when you're fat." Anyways, the New York Post has a few more examples in Gillibrand's book. It comes out on September 9th. So anyway, now, and you say, oh, that's just
and
her.
And she's not flattered by that? I mean,
she's blonde. Yeah, why?
Told me
she
that
can't take a compliment?
Hey, Kelly, you're pretty good looking, even though you are fat. I would actually take that as a compliment.
You know, the fact you even say that, I'm not even going to acknowledge the statement. But anyway,
hey, I'm
CNN's Dana Bash revealed on Thursday that she has been on the receiving end of some pretty gross comments from male senators, too, during her career as a congressional reporter. Bash was talking with Brooke Baldwin about Senator Kirsten Gillibrand's eye-opening disclosure that male colleagues of hers had openly and lewdly discussed her weight on repeated occasions. Bash agreed with Gillibrand's statement that only older men said these kinds of things, but she was very clear that they occurred. After I had my son 3 years ago, I got some comments that would blow you away from male senators, talking about getting my figure back and things like that. You know what? It's hard to address. It's just hard to deal with. And the fact that you have to put up with this at a workplace, shame on them and our taxpayer dollars. I just hope they name names. I'm going to read her book.
I think they should.
I think they
really
should
do.
too.
But you know what? This has been going on since.
So it's okay.
Since Adam and Eve.
So it's okay.
I'm just saying. No, I'm not saying it's okay. But it's been going on since Adam and Eve.
So
and
why
it's
say that?
To go on until the second coming.
So why say that?
So it's just because there are some things you can't fix.
It's the older male senators who think it's okay to talk to women like this that shouldn't be in the Senate, that shouldn't be in the House.
The women should fight back. They should call them old. They should,
they should
you gotta
file
fight
complaints.
Fire. You got to fight fire
they should
with
file
fire.
Complaints.
Oh, malarkey. That doesn't do any good.
Oh,
fight
really?
Fire with
we
fire.
Would hate to do
Tell
that.
them they're old. It's time for the Huckabee Report.
Yeah, that's demeaning.
You can hear the Huckabee Report each weekday at this time, brought to you exclusively by Waddell & Reed, Laura Nelson, Josh Funk, and Steve Stanger, financial advisors. And the number to call is 736-6563. Next, Tuesday.
Tuesday, we're picking the winner for the lunch.
The win the lunch with Kelly and Jill at the Canyon Crest Dining and Events Center, and a ride in the limousine.
For the August winner, so you got until what? Midnight, August 31st.
Midnight Monday. Yeah. Now, we're not going to be here Monday.
No, Monday is September 1st. We're picking it on the 2nd, so they have until August 31st.
Right. But I'm just saying, we're not going to be here Monday.
We're not going to be here Monday, Labor Day.
And my good friend and confidant, Glenn Beck, will be setting in for us on Monday morning.
That is so nice of him.
Yeah, he tells me, he says, anytime I can do your Jill a favor, you just let me know.
He doesn't know who I am.
So I said, hey, can you set in for us Monday? I know it's Labor Day. Oh, no problem.
He has no idea
He
who
was
I am.
planning on taking it off, but because he's going to be sitting in for us, he said he'd do it.
What a treat for our listeners.
There you go.
But hey, sign up for lunch with us. We had a great time with Ray and Katie Massey. We had delicious lunch. You had your delicious coconut fried chicken, which you thought was like delicious.
Well,
homemade.
And you can't find just regular old fried chicken anymore. It's all just strips.
This is on the bone.
Really on the bone fried chicken.
It looked like Southern chicken.
I'll tell you what, man. Life just doesn't get any better.
In a cast iron skillet. That's how that looked like it was made.
Yeah, exactly.
It really did. But anyway, it's lovely out. If you haven't gone to Canyon Crest in a while, go. They have a new chef, Richard Berger. He's very accommodating. He'll do whatever. Lord knows if he can accommodate me, he can accommodate anyone.
Oh, believe me, folks. Truer words have never been spoken.
Have
you have
watched
no idea.
When Harry Met Sally? Everything's on the side. Take this out, add this too, do whatever. And they're always, I say it in a nice
It's
way.
like my daughter when I go to a restaurant with her, she'll order the dish and say, "Oh, and can you make this instead of this? And can you? I don't want any of that. And can you change this and this and this?" And it's like.
And as people have gotten more with their food issues, they're more accommodating, but they're very lovely. Though you can't get a better view. You cannot.
That's true. I will be at the Twin Falls County Fair today, and this is not about me, okay?
No, it's not.
This is about the Twin Falls GOP, and Governor Otter will be there, and many of the other elected state officials and the local officials. We're going to be talking to them on the radio from 4 to 6. But you know what? It'd be fun if you just came down and joined us.
Asking them the tough questions. Funnel cake or monkey bread?
Or elephant ears.
Nevada, what is it, Navajo taco or tater pig? These are the questions and burning answers you want to know.
We're going to be finding this out today between 4 and 6. So we'll see you at the fair, and have fun at the fair. We'll see you Tuesday. Goodbye, Jill.
Bye, Kel. Have a great weekend.